Hello, welcome to another Fingernail Fixer video. Please forgive the background noises. This video was filmed during quarantine and I do live on a farm. Let's start off with a nail done in white using the gel polish of your choice. I do happen to use shellac, so I have used shellac in cream puff in 2 layers, and I've completely finished my shellac system from base coat, 2 color layers, and top coat. Now I'm ready to do my artwork, which is going to be using some alcohol inks. Since I'm using Profiles alcohol inks, I want to keep my artwork within the system. I'm going to use the Profiles matte top coat. So once I've finished the gel polish system that I use, I'm going to come in with the matte top coat that goes with my ink system. If you already have a favorite matte top coat, that's perfectly fine. I'm just weird in that I like things to be systemized. Once you have your matte top coat applied, it needs to be cured in the lamp for the normal amount of time that you would cure your top coats. Since we're doing this on YouTube, I did one ahead of time so that I don't have to waste your time watching that cure. For this design, I'd like to do a really cool, fragile flower. Let's use the red called Cherry on the website. Gonna start off really simple, just taking the cherry on top of that matte top coat and using the brush right out of the ink bottle, making 5 slashes coming towards the center that kind of resemble a kindergartner's flower. This is what's going to get me started for the process of creating my flower. Then I'm going to use a really small detail brush so that I can't accidentally soak up too much alcohol and really ruin my flower, but yet I can grab enough alcohol to manipulate the ink. I'm going to go into my alcohol and soak it up. You'll notice that my alcohol is colored. It's really difficult to get a hold of alcohol right now during COVID, so I'm using the alcohol from a previous video and it is stained from cleaning off my brush. Start in one of the swishes and kind of start going in a circle to make it bigger. Then think like you're making a tornado and start pulling it down towards the center of the flower. So circle, then tornado. Circle, tornado. See how we're starting to get our really delicate looking petal? It's causing that color to really bleed out, which gives us that great fragile looking petal like we would see on an actual flower, with that differentiation in color and that beautiful see-through look that you would have on an actual flower in real life. Let's move on to our next swish. Circle and tornado. Circle and tornado. And just keep working your way around, and don't keep turning the nail when you practice. Remember that if this were on a person, you can't spin that nail around. So get used to moving your hand around the nail versus moving the nail around to suit your hand. That way when you're working on a client, you're used to moving your hand around to work on the design, and you don't find yourself stuck trying to figure out how to do the design when the finger doesn't turn all the way around backwards. And the beauty of the inks is each petal is going to look completely different because you can't really control the dispersion with the alcohol. And that's what makes the flower look so realistic. Now here goes our last petal. Circle, tornado. And actually this one's really hard to get to, so I'm going to go in reverse. I'm going to start at the bottom of the tornado and get bigger and make the circle. So the bottom of the tornado, get bigger and make the circle. Much easier from that direction. If you're left-handed, just flip it around and do reverse. Let's come in and see if we can't add some accents. So a little bit of green, and I'm literally just going to put some little dots on either side and manipulate them with the alcohol by just touching and pulling. I don't really want this to be a perfect drawing and look exactly like leaves. I want it to be abstract and be the idea of a green accent of color. So there's no fear of a mistake. You can't do it wrong. It can't look bad because it's just a hint of color. It's just pulling some green in the background. It's kind of like when your camera focuses in on a flower on the bush, and the bush is just a blur in the background. So now we have our green accent, and let's give the flower just a dot of yellow in the center to set it off. And I'm not going to do anything to that yellow. It bled into there perfectly all on its own. I'm really happy with it. Just cleaning off my brush in the alcohol, wiping it off, setting it to the side, and just giving the nail a couple of seconds to be really sure that it's dry, because I don't want to smear the design with top coat. Once you've given it a couple seconds to be sure that it's dry, come in and apply your favorite top coat to your design. I happen to use shellac, so I'm going to seal this design with Shellac Original top coat. And you can see the shine from the top coat really brings out the delicacy of the petals and the slight differentiations and variations of the color. And so beautiful. You can just pop that into your lamp and cure it for the normal amount of time that you would normally cure your top coat. If you have questions, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments. If you have video requests, please leave those in the comments as well. I would love for you to subscribe to the channel while you're hanging out. Also, if you have questions about what products were used in the video, they are located in the video caption along with links. As always, I super appreciate your time watching the video. I've enjoyed having you. I hope this gives you some ideas for fun things to do in the salon. Always remember that your time has value and make sure that you are charging for fun designs and things like this and getting what you are worth, because your time has value. Let's take a look at that finished nail. So shiny, so much fun. And you definitely could do this with any of the colors. You could skip the green, or if you like to do hand painting, you could come in and do a little stem and a little pot. You could do more than one flowers. So many possibilities with just this one idea of a technique. So I hope you have fun with it. Thanks again for joining me.